Now are you going to do something? Am I streaming? Is it actually working? Hello? Hello? Are you out there? Is this working? Oh, good Lord. I have never had so much trouble making a stinking video in my life. And this probably will be a stinking video because I'm making it. Anyway, what I wanted to say to everybody is, hello, Merry Christmas. What the heck? It's showing it as an upcoming event. It's not an upcoming event, it's happening now. And why is it showing that it's scheduled for 9:14 p.m. when it's 10:22? I am so confused. Help! Well, this is showing that I'm actually streaming on OBS. But when I pull it up on my TV, it's showing that it's an upcoming event. So I don't know if you're seeing this or not. I'm not seeing it. Oh, good Lord. Okay, we're just going to play and hope that something happens. Maybe y'all will see it, maybe you won't. I don't know. I recorded a really long video yesterday and I can't get it to upload yet again. This is at least the third, if not the fourth video of Raid Shadow Legends that will not complete the upload. And I thought, well, maybe it was the length, because the first couple were right at an hour and a half. But then the next one I did was like 2 hours and it was fine. So I thought, well, maybe it's the hour and a half mark it doesn't like, so I made it a little longer. Nope, last night's was like 2.5 hours and it, same thing, it gets to 95% processed and quits. I mean, it's already uploaded and it's almost there. It just can't seem to do that last 5%, so that's why I'm attempting a live stream that I don't even know if it's streaming or not. Anyway, I haven't played since the reset hit. For me, it's 7 o'clock Eastern is when the reset hits, and like I said, it's like almost 10:30 now. So I'm going to go around and collect all my goodies, and we'll do some battling, and I hope everybody has had a good Christmas if you celebrate, or just a good day in general. We ended up with a white Christmas. Last night it dumped some snow on us. So that was kind of nice to see. Of course, I haven't gone outside to go into it because I don't like being in snow. I like to see snow, but not be in the snow. But it's kind of nice that, you know, we did get a white Christmas. We haven't had that in a couple years. I don't remember last year at all what we ended up with. But I think it's been a few years. If we've had anything, it's been just a dusting. Here we actually got accumulation, so there is that. It is freaking cold in this house today. I've been curled up under the blanket all day. Haven't accomplished a darn thing except cooking dinner. We didn't do a whole lot this year. Our general celebration is we do the weekend before Thanksgiving when my brother and his family come down. And we just do Thanksgiving and Christmas together with them. And it works for us. And, you know, the lack of income this year, we didn't really have gifts and things past that. I did buy my son a new headset thing for when he does his streams. Which his work, I don't know why mine don't. But anyway, go in my little inbox here and collect all the things I just collected. I don't know. Oh, okay, that's weird. I don't know why a lot of times when I collect things on this game, it sends it to the inbox instead of just, you know, making it available. Today they gave a holiday gift, which was really, really good. There was a 5-star chicken, which is exciting because chickens are very hard to come by. And you need those to rank up. So I have one 5-star character that I will be able to rank up to a 6-star when I gather enough chickens, or 5-star characters to sacrifice, which if you rank them up to 5 stars, why would you want to sacrifice them? I don't know. But anyway, there's that. I needed to see what do I need to do in the beat a campaign boss 3 times. Okay. The daily activities are pretty much the same every day, except in the campaign battle thing, it's either win 7 campaign battles or defeat a campaign boss 3 times. And today it's a campaign boss. Yesterday it was 7 battles, so I kind of guessed, but never hurts to check and make sure. So we'll do that first, just to get it out of the way. Right now there's a tournament where you have to defeat the ice golem. And you just keep defeating it and gathering points, and I don't know where I am right now. I think I'm like ranked 8th or something the last time I looked, but somebody may have passed me by now. I have won 2 tournaments though since I've been playing, which is pretty cool. Or, well, my tournament group. I won, I think, a dragon one, and I won a... might have been the ice golem the last time. I don't remember. I did a video on the first one, which of course would not finish processing, so you don't get to watch it. I don't know. It's frustrating. So for our Christmas today, we had lasagna for dinner. Yeah, lasagna. Nothing exciting, although we don't have it that often. I'm sure my son would like to have it more often. I think it's probably one of his favorite meals. But we had lasagna and garlic bread, and then I did a cherry chocolate cake thing for dinner, or for dessert, which, if I think about it, I'll try to remember to post the recipe for it in the comments, or in the description, whatever, down below. It's a real simple. It takes 2 cans of cherry pie filling. You put it in the bottom of a 9x13 pan. You get a chocolate cake mix and sprinkle the dry mix over the top of the pie filling. You want to make it all as even as possible so that it cooks evenly. And then you cover the top of the cake mix with 3/4 of a cup of butter. I melted mine because it was cold and it really hard to try to slice it up. You can do like slices of butter, little pats of butter across the top. But when I've made dump cakes before, I found that doesn't work very well. I end up with dry mix, baked dry mix, and only where the butter sat is where it got cooked through. So I melted the butter, and you want to layer it even. You don't want dry mix showing if possible because it's going to stay dry mix. At least that's what I've discovered based on previous attempts. And it turned out pretty fine. It was good. We used a triple chocolate fudge cake or something like that. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was triple chocolate something or other cake. And I think it was a Betty Crocker mix. And it worked fine. And if I would have thought about it, I would have gotten like the Cool Whip out to thaw, or maybe gotten out some ice cream to put on it. But I'm so cold right now, I didn't think ice cream sounded good. My poor feet are like blocks of ice. And I've got a heater right here by my feet, and it's not getting them warm. So yeah, it's that cold today. So anyway, that's pretty much how my day's been. I've been watching a lot of YouTube. Was gonna read a book and just, eh. I've read so much this month so far that I don't know. I just can't get into another book right now. And this is not the time to be hitting a wall, you know? I have read, let's see here, for December. Six, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 books so far. So that's not bad. I didn't read anything yesterday. Haven't read anything today other than a couple pages in a book that I'm having trouble understanding. Why is this not... Aha! I guess I am streaming. Now it's showing a picture. Basically, yesterday's stream, or that wasn't a stream, it was just a video I recorded. I sat here and rambled about a bunch of nothing, which I pretty much have done so far through this video. And I talked about some YouTubers I like to watch, which I might do that again. I don't know. What are you guys interested in? I just never know what to talk about because, you know, I don't get a lot of response back. Probably because my channel's so small. But I just wanted to, you know, get on here and do a video because I haven't done one in a while. And I thought this was as good a way to do it as any since, you know, I haven't been able to get things to process, and I don't know why. I tried downloading a program to repair a video, thinking maybe there was something wrong with it, and it took 2 hours for it to a little over 2 hours for it to run the whole video through. And when I clicked save, it said, "Bye now." And I'm like, why didn't it say that at the beginning? So that I didn't waste all that time trying to run it through before it asked me to pay for a key to unlock it. Seems to me it should have done that first. So I don't think I'm going to bother trying to do it with another programs. They have a feeling they're all going to kind of do the same thing. Oh. So there's only 12 dungeons or locations. Let's say locations in the campaign. And then there's like 7 levels within the location. And level 7 is the big boss for that particular location. So I'm playing, you know, the 12th location, level 7, to defeat my campaign bosses, because might as well defeat the biggest one, right? Hopefully that gives me more XP and a little more coin, and there we go. And that takes care of that. So now there's that daily quest element done. What should I do next? I have joined a clan since the last video that actually uploaded. So let's fight the clan boss. I guess the rest of my clan is off celebrating the holidays or something and not fighting the clan boss today. Usually there's a couple of us fighting. Takes a long time to regenerate the keys to fight the clan boss. Still not sure how long exactly it takes, but it takes quite a bit of time. The best I've ever done is 3 in a day. And I have 2 keys available right now. using one, and then I'll be able to fight it one more time. And I feel like I do a pretty good amount of damage. Of course, as my champions get stronger, they'll be able to do more damage. Right now I only have one level 5 champion. Because getting those darn chickens to rank them up is darn near impossible. Unless you want to spend money, and I'm not spending money on this game. I was going to play a different game yesterday, which is why I started filming in the first place. But I couldn't get the game to open. That's my life. Spend a lot of time downloading a game and then it won't even open. I had the same problem with Planet Zoo. I couldn't get it to work either. And I really want to play it because now it's got some new updates where you get penguins and things, and I'd kind of like to play with penguins. So I'll have to find out where my son downloaded it from and see if maybe we can't get a new download of it. I wonder if it's on stream, or Steam. I think we have Steam on this computer. If it's a Steam game, maybe I can do it that way. I haven't tried playing Among Us with anybody yet. I'm kind of afraid to. If I need to find out when he's playing, like play against him maybe, and then that'll be fun. Yeah, I just spewed poison all over me. Not nice. Oh, I made it over 1,000,000 damage points. That's good. And that's it. 1.03 million damage. And I can do one more round. One thing about Raid Shadow Legends, which is kind of nice, is I run it on auto because I don't feel like I know enough to play it manually and make the right decisions. I'm going to guess that auto is going to make better decisions than I do. But you don't have to play it on auto. You can sit and determine what move to make when and all that if you're interested in doing that. Matter of fact, that's how I was playing when I first started, because I didn't know about auto, even though there's a big button there in the corner that says it, which you might not be able to see because I think it's right behind where my picture is. But there's a circle that says info, and then underneath it's one that says auto, and then next to that there's like a ×1, which if I click on that, it's now ×2, so it's going to run even faster. Kind of nice seeing them all on speed. When we get into the dungeon, I'll talk about what I was going to call yesterday's video, and you'll see why. I think it's interesting how, well, down the center of this demon's stomach, it looks like a vertical mouth. And that's where we keep shooting it. We're doing a good bit more damage this time. 1.13 million, that's an extra 100,000 damage. Not bad. So today I've used 4 keys. Wow. And managed 4.14 million damage. So that's 22% by myself. Because if any of my other teammates play, then they'll go in these slots where they say no battle history, then it'll fill in with whoever the other people are. And whoever's done the most damage, then of course is, won. So I will, if other people play, I generally end up about second or third, depending on who plays. Let's do the dungeon. I like the dungeon. I'm avoiding the arena because I don't like the arena. Let's go visit the ice golem. And let's see, down to stage 7. Because I know I can beat stage 7. We'll go ahead and hit multi-battle. Now, what we were going to call yesterday's video was shoot them in the nuts. Because in these dungeons, the final boss on the levels, that's pretty much where your strikes hit. If you shoot them with an arrow, it's right in the crotch. Because they're so big. And that's where the arrows and swords are going to hit. Somewhere between the nuts and the knee. But it does look like you're shooting them in the crotch the whole time, so that's why we were going to call it that. I thought it was kind of funny, but it doesn't take much to amuse me. Well, that looked like it hit him in the stomach. Sure, make me out to be a liar. At one of the other dungeons, it really does look like it's hitting him right in the nuts. He's a little shorter, I think. We were fighting the magic? No, not magic. Force? The one where you get the little red potions. He's the one we were fighting yesterday. And with him, it really does look like you're shooting him right in the crotch. Okay, so what we need to collect are these little, like, winged sword things. That's what we use as our points in the tournament. That time we got 4 points. Sometimes you don't get any, and I don't know why. You would think that every time you win a battle you should get points, but not necessarily. One time I got 16. So I don't know why, different amounts at different times. I think it would make more sense to each level give X number of points when you win. So that those playing higher levels are going to get higher points. That would make more sense than sometimes you get points, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get 4, sometimes you get 16. Usually it's around 8. I get 8 and 9 a lot. I get 4s a lot. Stop killing my guys! See, I got 4 again this time. The amount of coin is usually the same. I will be back. Ouch! That hurt. I just jammed my finger against the edge of the table. That wasn't good. I will be right back. I'm going to grab a bottle of water, get some ice, all that fun stuff. Meanwhile, it's gonna keep fighting. Okay, I'm back. Did you miss me? That's just kind of monotonous after a little while. But you got to keep it going if you want to make any progress. maybe we'll take a little pause and after the battles are done here, and I can show you what I got for Christmas. Pretty much it all came from my brother's family, because my son and I just didn't bother this year. I mean, I got him his headset because he needed one, but otherwise we did dinner and, you know, the stocking stuffers that we unstuffed back before Thanksgiving, so that stuff's gone. A lot of chocolate, candy, stuff like that. I did pick up a book. Found one in the little free library, I don't know, last week one day. And of course I can't take the little tag off of it. But I'm going to consider that as, you know, since it's not enough to do a book haul, I'll count that as a Christmas thing, because I picked that one up for me. I'm trying to decide what goals I want to set for my 2020 reading, or 2021 reading. I am going to attempt, and I may regret it, we'll see after the first book if I continue. In Search of Time? Is that the name of the thing? Proust. The first book is Swan's Way. Let me see if I can pull it up and get the name of the actual series. I think it's called In Search of Time, or In Remembrance of Time. Something about time. I have Swan's Way downloaded, and I've requested a print copy. So I've got the audio downloaded. Remembrance of Things Past. Where did I get the other stuff? Maybe because there's a clock on the cover. Jeez. Okay, so book one, which is Swan's Way, is 21 and a half hours of audio. So 11 hours of actual listening, because I run it at 2 times speed. That's just the first part. There's 7 books total, which comes out to roughly 3,500 pages. If I get all the parts by the same narrator, this says that it runs to 150 hours for the complete unabridged recording. So like I said, we'll see. Because this is going to be like 1,000 pages, give or take, just for the first segment. Hey, we got 16 points this time. That's good. Two, 3, 4, 5. Why does that say part 11? And why is there no 6? I'm going to have to find out what the... Well, maybe if I look up under the author's name. Audiobooks. Swan's Way I've got downloaded. Within a Budding Grove is 2. The Germontes Way, I hope I said that right, is 3. Sodom and Gomorrah is 4. The Captive is 5. And Time Regained is 7. There's no 6? Why isn't there a 6? I need to recommend 6. That makes no sense. Why wouldn't they have 6? Apparently this is 6. But why wouldn't you have... I would think it would make more sense to have all of the books in the same series. Like, I mean, yeah, they're all from Remembrance of Things Past, but I mean the same collection of that series. So you have 1 through 5 and 7 that are all the same. They go together in the same collection. And then their copy of number 6 is something completely different looking. And instead of saying it's part 6, it says it's part 11. Which makes me confused. But it looks like in that series where part 6 is part 11, they've divided like part 5 into 2 pieces. So I'm guessing several of these are divided into 2 parts. I don't know. Makes no sense to me. But anyway, that's a goal. Can I handle 3,500 pages of Proust? I don't know. I've never read any. So I don't know if he's a writing style that I enjoy or not. It is classics. I want to read some more classics. I like to sprinkle them throughout my year. Man, I'm front loading this year, or 2021, with a whopper starting in January. Hopefully, print copy comes in time. I looked on Amazon at buying the books, which once I get a little bit of income happening, I think I might do that. But it comes in 3 volumes. So instead of 7 books, it's 3 books. So like, I think book 1 is Swan's Way and whatever the second one is together. And then like the second volume might be 3 books and then 2 books again, possibly. Or it might be 2, 2, 3, I don't know. Because some of the books are smaller, obviously. If it's 7 books total, around approximately 3,500 pages total, you're looking at roughly 500 a book on average. However, book 1 is over 1,000 pages, so that means some of them are going to be smaller. I think book 1 is probably the biggest book. I have a little space heater under the table, right, where the computer's sitting, where you guys are sitting. And having it run makes my mouth really dry all the time. Even though I'm cold, I still end up with a dry mouth, I think, because the heat is drying out the air a little bit. Does it go any higher than a ×2? No, 1 or 2. Oh, that's something. I learned something. So I've got a whole stack of books sitting here that I need to get through. Big stack from the library. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14 sitting on the shelf from the library. I don't know. That's a lot to read. I want to try to get as many of them done as I can before the end of the year so that we can start January 1st with a mostly clean slate. Problem is, I'm planning on, if the roads aren't too terrible tomorrow, going to the library to pick up some stuff. Our branch library here in town, in the village, is closed until the 4th. Yeah, should be back open on the 4th. So that gives me all of next week. And of course, there's a couple books and some DVDs that have come in that I need to go pick up. So if the roads aren't too terrible tomorrow, I might do that. I did hear the plow go by earlier. Made a lot of noise. Hopefully they didn't plow it into my driveway. They've done that before where they just leave a ridge at the edge of the driveway. That's not cool. Driveway's hard enough to get out of without having them make it more complicated. I need to go buy a pair of shoes, which I'm not looking forward to because I hate buying shoes. I hate wearing shoes. But I have to go buy a pair of black shoes because I managed to get a job. And the dress code is black shirt, black pants, black shoes, and socks. They didn't say they have to be black socks, but I'm going to guess they probably want black socks as well, since everything else has to be black. So I need to go buy a pair of shoes. The ones I've got, I need to replace them anyway. But I think what I'll do maybe is try Walmart and get a cheap pair until I get a couple paychecks in, and then go invest in a better pair. I don't know, like Nike or I can't wear Reebok. I don't even know if Reebok still exists. Oh, what's the other one? Skechers. I can wear Skechers. Something that's got a little more support and are going to be a better quality shoe. Because I know cheap shoes will last me a couple weeks and then I'll have to go and replace them, where I can pay $50 and get a decent pair that's going to last me a while. The ones I'm wearing now are Pumas, and I've worn them for, 3 years or so. How long ago did my son bring them home? About 3 years ago. He was on the track team, and they gave him a couple different pairs of shoes to try, and he didn't want to wear the Pumas. I don't know why. They're cool looking. They're blue, and I bought rainbow laces to put in them because they're just cool looking. And I've worn them about 3 years, I'd say. Probably pretty darn close to it. And they're just getting to the point now where I need to put either some sort of support inside them or just replace the shoe. Well, I think after 3 years, I'm entitled to a new pair of shoes. I've earned it. But I've noticed that when we go places like Walmart and we're walking around in the store for a period of time, an hour or so, or if we go to Kroger and we're walking around in there, walking on that type of flooring, the concrete flooring, I've noticed that when my shoes are older, I hurt more. And so I definitely need to invest in a better pair of shoes. But to get the job started, we'll start with a cheap pair and eventually get a better pair when there's a little bit of money. I'd like to know what's happening with the stimulus, because Congress, I guess, passed a 600 one, and then Trump said he doesn't want to sign it because he thinks we should get 2,000. I'd say, okay, I like the 2,000 idea, but 600's been passed. Go ahead and sign the 600 in, and then tell them that for part 2 of this stimulus package, put in the 2,000. I mean, people are hurting. We need some stimulus money. So, make both things happen. There's the compromise. Okay, I'll sign what you've already taken. I mean, so far, $1,200 doesn't go very far, and this has been going on, better part of a year. Theoretically, it started around this time last year. Probably around Thanksgiving, I would guess, is when the first cases were starting to come out, but people didn't know what it was. Because people are talking about how, they were sick around Thanksgiving, Christmas. But if it was a mild case, then they would have just been like, oh, it's the flu, and gone on their merry way. Where it may have been COVID related. That doesn't make sense, because flu is a COVID virus. It may have been COVID-19 related. But without an antibody test or whatever, you're not going to know for sure if you've had it or not. I'm not going to worry about it at this point. All I know is I'm not sick, and I'm going to go with that. And I'm going to do my best to not get sick. That's why I've been trying to not go out. So naturally I get a job where we go out. So the job that I've managed to get, it's the only place that since May has given me an interview, which is obnoxious and annoying. All these places are, we need people, and you apply and they're like, we're not going to give you an interview. Well, then you obviously don't need people very bad if you're not going to give people interviews. But this company gave me an interview, and I've sent them all the paperwork, and it's very weird doing it all online. I've never had this experience before where everything was done online. The interview was done over Skype. And, that was my first experience using Skype. So I was just like, wow, I'm learning stuff this year. But it's for an inventory company. So basically what happens is we will go to different locations and count the product on the shelves. Just basically to make sure that their inventory numbers are correct. Because I used to work at Target, and I know stuff disappeared. There was always shrinkage. And sometimes you caught the people, sometimes you didn't. You just discovered empty packaging, or, you'd go by a shelf and there'd be an empty space and you're like, well, maybe somebody's got it in their cart, but then you don't get a replacement for it. And after a while, you're like, oh, well, I guess we're not going to get it back in. Maybe it's back ordered or something. We didn't know. Or it could be somebody just walked out with it without paying. You never know, because when you're just regular sales floor, it's hard to tell. When I was an entertainment specialist at Target, we used to do like quarterly scans where we would scan all of the CDs and do returns. I'm trying to remember, did we do DVDs as well? I know we did all the CDs. I want to say it was just the CDs. And we would send back to the warehouse, however many, and we would be told to only keep like 3 copies of this disc and 4 copies of that disc. Whatever they was selling, we'd keep a little more. If it wasn't selling well, we'd keep less, or we'd just send it back altogether if it hadn't sold at all within the quarter. But it was an automated scan. So what we would do is, before that, we would go through, scan everything out, and scan them back into locations so that it'd be easier for us to find the stuff. Because sometimes it'd get put away and not get scanned in, and we didn't know we had it. And we could have been selling it. So, yeah, there's lots of ways to keep up with inventory. So I'm kind of curious to see how it works through this company. It's not a company that I have any familiarity with. I worked with a different company when I lived in Dayton. I didn't work for them, but I worked with them as they came into a store I was working in. There's a bookstore that I worked for a couple years, and they came in and would do it like an overnight, and it would just be the managers would be there for it. Then the rest of us would cover so they could have the next day off or whatever. But we'd always find these little tags that had the name of the company on it and that they counted that shelf. Great. So then we had to spend the whole day looking for little yellow tags to take them off the shelves. And sometimes, a couple months later, we'd find another tag just randomly appearing on a shelf that we know we've been through because we were doing rack checks and things constantly. So that was interesting. And I worked for a company called Media Play. I don't even know if they still exist. It was a large store, and it was like having a bookstore and a CD store and a DVD store all crammed into one. And then there was a little department that had a few computer games and other random stuff. So think of it as like a Suncoast video store, a Sam Goody CD store, and a smaller version of Walden's all crammed together into one location. I think those are a bunch of stores that don't exist anymore. But anyway, I worked in the bookstores or the book department, and then I was in the process of being promoted to children's lead, and they closed our store. But I did work the overnight inventory crew when they had this inventory company. It was the same company that the other bookstore used, because they had those stupid little yellow tags all over the place. It drove me nuts. But what we had to do was, as employees of the store, we would, if one of the inventory people needed a tag, we would have to take the item back to receiving, have it looked up on a computer, and have a tag printed out and attached to the item. Which, in the children's department, we had all these little plastic animals, which were a pain in the butt. There was no rhyme or reason to how they were thrown on the shelf. I mean, literally, they were thrown on a shelf. There was no rhyme or reason to it. Kids would take them and play with them, chew on them. They were nasty. I didn't think we needed them, but did they ask us? No. This is what your store gets. Fill a shelf with this crap. Anyway, a lot of those had to go back and be determined. What animal is it? What size is it? Because sometimes they'd be multiple sizes. We had to try to figure out which animal it was so that they could print off a barcode. Then we could attach it to a tag and tie the tag onto the animal and put it on the shelf. That was kind of a pain in the butt. And, we were there from the time the store closed at 10 until like 5 in the morning when, some of the early people were starting to trickle in, which usually they didn't come in till closer to 7. But we were there till like 5, maybe 6. I'm thinking it's 5, though, is what I scheduled for. And, you know, if you're not used to doing overnight, that's a long day. That was a cool store to work in, though. I'm surprised I made any money at all, because it was all stuff I was interested in. And I was always, like, pre-ordering movies. And that's before DVD, really. It was, like, 95, 6, somewhere in there. 95 or 96. So it's before, you know, DVDs and stuff really took hold. So I had a bunch of VHS tapes that I was buying all the time. Pre-ordering. I mean, that was back when, like, Men in Black came out. I remember, no, not Men in Black. Independence Day. I remember buying Independence Day. And The Craft. And, I don't know, a couple others. I think I ordered Wizard of Oz for my brother as kind of a joke, because he worked set crew for a production. Anyway, let's take a break from Raid Shadow Legends and me rambling on about garbage. And do a little, here's what I got for Christmas. Hello, here I am. Looking about as scraggly as ever. Okay, so, like I said, most of what I got is stuff from my brother's family. This is the book I was talking about. I found it in the Little Free Library, but I kind of picked it up. It's still got the tags and everything on it. This is Even If We Break by Marika Nieschkamp. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I'm going to say it sounds Dutch, maybe? I'm not entirely sure what this is about. The back says, 5 friends go to a cabin, 4 of them are hiding secrets, 3 years of history bind them, 2 are doomed from the start, 1 person wants to end this, no one is safe, are you ready to play? And they've got these really interesting masks on the cover. So I'm curious as to what it's about. And then inside it says, the thing that scares me the most isn't that I might break us further apart, it's that I want to. It was never just a game. Set over the course of one deadly weekend and told from 5 pulse-pounding perspectives, Even If We Break is a shocking thriller about a group of friends tied together by a game and the relationships that define them. The healthy ones, the toxic ones, and the ones that will break them. I'm intrigued. That one sounds interesting. And I have requested the audio, so hopefully that will come through soon. And then, I have this really cool bag. It's a big one. They picked it up for me because it's Halloween and it's got bats and things on it, and I collect bats. And my sister-in-law, Melissa, made me a vampire. She does a lot of knitting. She likes to make presents. He's got like the red lining on his cape, and I think his little teeth are adorable. He's so cute. If you watched the Cards Against Humanity videos, you've seen him. We called him Rando during those because he was our random card person. She also made me a Pokemon Zubat. Is this Zubat or Golbat? It's one of them. Zubat, I think. I'm not entirely sure which is which, but I think it's cute. And they found me this really neat little, whoops, I'll have to pick that up. This little tea towel. It says double, toil and trouble. She picked it up because it's got the bat. And she's also says I'm into spiders. Well, she's shown me some things that are cool that have spiders on them. Not necessarily that I'm into spiders so much, but there are some cool looking ones out there. In general, I try to ignore spiders. If they don't pester me, I don't pester them. And they found me this little set of earrings, which they picked up because they're Halloween related, and there's a pair of bats. There. And I think the skulls are cool too. And of course the little dangly spiders are, and yeah, I think these are fun. I haven't worn pierced earrings in a while, so I'm sure I'm going to have to like re-pierce the holes. And there's a pair of socks that have spiders on them. They got orange toes and kind of teal heels and cuffs. But they've got the spiders. And there's this cute little bear. And if you look at his, I guess they're pajamas, he's got a spider web on his pajamas. And he's got a little spider on his head. He's a little ornament. It's cute. And there's this little box. That's the last thing in the bag. And it's got, like, are these ceramic? Hand-painted porcelain. Okay. There's 2 bats and a spider. There's the first one. And there's the other bat. He's got his wings up. And a little spider. She said she was going to make me a set of fingerless gloves because I have managed to misplace the set that I had. So hopefully I'll get those soon. Let's put all this back in here so it doesn't get lost. I'll put the vampire back over on top of my dresser. I have some pillows on the dresser, then I had him sitting on top. But I've also got my pile of library books sitting there, so he kind of guards over all that. Okay, well, that was the fun and exciting what I got for Christmas. I guess the biggest thing really is the getting a job. So I'm glad that I got all that taken care of before the holiday. Now I just have to find out when I actually start, because I haven't found that out yet. I need to find out when orientation is. Right now would be the perfect time to do orientation and training before the first of the year, get it out of the way, so then when they get back into the swing of things, I'm ready to go. So hopefully it happens soon. Let me shrink this back down because you don't need to see my ugly mug. Hide out in the corner there. And I'll go back to the game because we still have Faction Wars and Arena to work on. And I really hate the Arena, so let's get that over with. Classic Arena. We got to do 5 Classic Arena battles every day for the daily quests. Oh, good. There's a couple of these won't be so bad. This one, not a problem. Sometimes, though, I'll get one that's like 7,000 lower power, team power than what I have, and they wipe the floor with me, and I don't know why. I haven't figured out how there can be that big of a difference in our power, and I still get wiped out. It's very annoying. That was fun and exciting. Didn't even bother to turn on auto for that one. Usually I just hit auto and it's done like in one shot. Here's another one that's only one. So you gotta look at, like, here, he's only a 2-star that I'm battling. A level 2 2-star. Seriously? Team Power 860? Why didn't you put a bigger character up? Unless you're just trying to build EXP for the guy. Which is possible. Otherwise, I don't understand why we would put such a weak character up for battle when you've got people like me coming in. I just hit level 40. And then, like, my characters are all 4 and 5-star, level 40 or level 50. And I'm fighting a guy who's a level 2 2-star? That hardly seems fair. This one seems a little more equal. Yeah, Team Power 30, 30. They've got 3 4-stars and a 5-star, which their 5-star is fully ascended and mine isn't. So that may be an issue. I don't know. But this will be more of a battle. It's going to be close usually. Sometimes they just come in, whomp, and I'm dead. And I'm like, I didn't even get a chance to hit auto yet. I haven't had a chance to play. And sometimes it's somebody who's got lower team power. They just come on and whomp, and I'm like, but I didn't even get to start the battle. And I find that to be quite annoying, actually. That's one of the reasons I don't like the arena battles, is because there's no rhyme or reason to it that I can see. If all things are equal, it should be a fairly equal battle. There it was a fairly equal as far as team power and all. But it was like they didn't fight back. So I don't know. It's weird. And I'm sure part of it has to do with, like, what kind of armor you've got and how much that's developed and all, which you're not going to be able to tell just by looking at this. I'm skipping this one because they've got 2 5-star guys. Well, actually, they got a 6-star, a 5-star, and 2 4-stars. So I'm pretty sure they're going to be a much higher power than I am. Now, how is that? See, this is another thing I don't understand.